So I have a class planned because there was a question asked about how to reinforce my dog properly. Hey, Megan. So excited to see you here. How you been?
Good. I finally got a notification from your group. I wasn't getting the notifications and I was like, oh my gosh, I can make it. So I'm here.
That's amazing. It's actually, let's see. We usually have a lot of people, but I had a lot of messages saying, hey, I got to do Christmas shopping. I apologize. Things like that. But this is good. This is good. So welcome everybody. I'm really excited about today. I had an amazing question. Somebody sent an amazing question. They have a cat actually and a dog, and the kitten, it's a kitten, and the dog has met cats before, but the cats were very friendly. And in this case, this kitten was hissing a little bit. So the dog is a German Shepherd. And so the doggy got a little bit spooked, and so it started to bark, and then the kitty decided that the bark was scary, so it ran away. So then it became this cycle of like, I bark, you run, it's fun. And it wasn't working really well for either one of the species because it's not clear to what they're supposed to do. So this is an amazing opportunity to work a little bit on reinforcement scheduling, and so that's what we want to cover today. So can you guys see the board behind me? Is it clear to you? Can you read it? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to start by first understanding what a reinforcement strategy is. So when you're working with animals that cannot use technotutor, like we talked before, they you can't really change their brain unless there's an absolutely reason why they have to change. we call we call this reason for change value when we're working with animals. So think about it like this: if I like growl at you and you feel intimidated, and then I get what I want, growling at you has a lot of value because I got my reward. So that is actually value. So what we're talking about is reinforcement strategy is the idea, the understanding that I'm gonna actually manufacture value towards a specific choice. And what I have to do then is I have to make this choice available to the dog or the cat so often that it becomes unconscious. So the dog and the cat want to do it all the time. So John, I know you arrived a little bit late, so I'm just gonna fill you in. So there was a question from Tess, an amazing trainer groomer, that asked, I have my dog Topi. She is a German Shepherd. She met a kitten, and she's always met cats before. They're very friendly. This kitten was a little bit afraid. It hissed at her. The Topi is a 1-year-old German Shepherd, so she got scared too and barked. Then the kitten ran away. And then the dog thought, wow, this is great. If I bark, the kitten runs. So now it became a cycle. Now every time they're even near that house or that cat, they just start barking like right away. So what we're going to talk about is what's called the reinforcement strategy. And what reinforcement means is creating value for a specific choice and repeating that value so often that it becomes unconscious. So that's what we want to do. That's how we want to do it with the dog. So the first thing is, this is where everybody goes wrong. The first part is the choice. So when I'm creating this, when I want to create this, the reinforcement schedule, I actually have to have a choice of what I want. Now, in regards to this particular case for this German Shepherd, what do you think is the choice I want? So check the question. So the dog looks at the cat hisses, the dog barks, the cat runs away. What is my choice? What do I want the dog to do? Does anybody have any ideas? Go for it, guys. Any guesses?
Well, not to bark and to walk away.
That's right. That's right. So that's excellent. So the opposite of barking is quiet. The opposite of chasing is backing away. So whenever you have a behavior problem with any animal, it doesn't matter what it is, even humans, Look at what you don't want and figure out what you want instead. So if I don't want barking and lunging and chasing, I want quiet, walking away, laying down. Okay, so that's what's gonna be my choice. So if I'm not clear on my choice, I can't create value. So for example, in an example in a human being, okay, let's say that whenever you come back from work, if you had a hard day, you're kind of grumpy. Okay, and so I'm really excited because you're home. So I come and greet you, and you don't really want to talk. You need kind of a space. So you're like kind of like short with your words, and if I am not understanding your language, I will pester you and want to talk and interact with you without understanding that you need some space. Now, if you were to say, hey, can we talk in 10 minutes? I need some space, then I can back off and create value for you because you communicated with me. And that is going to be my actual reinforcement to you. I'm going to give you the space because you told me something. You understand? So it's the same thing with dogs. So in this case, that's my choice. So now I have an idea. I want my dog to, I'm going to put walk away and be calm and quiet. Okay, so that's my choice. Okay, so now there's a couple of things you gotta do. Let's say that, so Topi is like, the test was like, even before I get in the house, she's already barking because she can smell the cat. So I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm a block away or right next to the cat. The moment they start barking or they start doing the behavior you don't want, you must stop all reinforcements. So reinforcement is movement. So if I walk, that's rewarding. Any animal likes movement, no matter what kind of animal it is. So if I stop walking right away, I'm just gonna wait it out. Okay, my dog is outside the door, so it's not gonna be super intense. And the second my dog does something similar to this, walk away, calm and quiet. It doesn't have to be like perfect. It could be it sniffed the ground for a second, but it wasn't barking. The second that happens, okay, I'm gonna mark it. Now, a marker is a very important thing. A marker is a bridge, and it's a bridge between the two species, your species and their species. Without your marker, you can't do anything. You can't change somebody's idea. Think about your marker as being influence in the human world. If you're somebody that really knows how to cook and people come all over the world to taste your meals, and I ask you advice about cooking, I'm gonna take it seriously because you have influence. If you don't know how to drive on the snow, but you are a great cook, and I ask you about driving on the snow, I shouldn't take your advice. You have no influence about that. You gotta learn how to do that first, right? So that's your bridge. Your marker is influence. Now we have 3 types of markers. The first one is visual. It could be moving with your body, like yes, like it's like the eyes, the mouth, the expression. It's a physical movement. Okay, that's visual. It could be auditory, like yes, good job, right? It could also be tactile, right? So those are your 3 different types of markers. Now, for you guys that haven't been before, John and Megan, you haven't been here before, so this may be the first time you hear something called SUD. But SUD stands for Subjective Units of Distress. And it's a thermometer invented by Royal Callahan that allowed us to know where anybody is at any one time in regards to their emotional state. Now, here's the thing. Emotions and feelings are not real. There's something you manufacture depending on your programming, what you learned from early childhood or what you learned when you were just a pup or a kitten. Is not necessarily true. However, the emotions and feelings will affect how you think. If there's a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings, your thinking goes really crappy. And instead of actually being able to be logical and act upon logic, you get really intense. We call that high salt levels. So the salt levels go from 0, sleeping, to 100 being the worst intense state of mind you can possibly be. Now we have those states in 5 ways. We can see them in 5 ways. You can fight, you can flight, you can freeze, you can faint, and you can feel, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Okay, those are the 5. So depending on your marker, how you give your marker is gonna affect your salt levels. So if my dog is already intense, my cat is running away like a maniac, and I give a marker that has a lot of intensity, and this is what, John, you guys have to learn, you're gonna create more intensity. So what I wanna do is I wanna recognize that, for example, for your visual cues, you can be a ninja. That's a ninja, okay? Or you can be like, whoa, that's it, you nailed it, go for it, you know? So that's like the throwing, the being very physical. Auditory, you can be disco, like, yeah, same thing, be like the sound, or spoke. Yes, good boy, buddy, good boy, right? And then tactile, you can massage to create sleeping, or you can wrestle and be excited with your dog, right? So, for example, when I'm playing tug with a dog, if I'm playing tug of war, as a reward, do I want to be in the skull massage mode? No, I want to be like, come on, get it, grab that thing, come on, come on, come on, right? I want to be excited. So these are my markers. My markers can actually create a lot of intensity and decrease intensity. Now, intention is everything. When I'm walking towards the door of the cat, my intention is walk away, be calm and quiet. So the second my dog gives me something relatively close to that, I'm gonna go, yes, I'm gonna walk her away, and I'm gonna, if the dog has a lot of energy, I may toss a treat away. Now that brings us to the next point. So the marker is how you change somebody because you have influence. So that's huge. But it doesn't give a reward. The marker is just a marker. It's a signal that what you did is going to be rewarded. The reinforcer is actually the reward. And then we have many, many types of rewards. And this is where most people get stuck. Like, for example, if you had a really hard work at a really hard day at work, and you come home and I go, you know, I never felt so comfortable in a partnership than when I'm with you. I am so appreciative of everything you do. It makes me feel so valued that I have you, that we can be partners and we can help each other grow. Thank you so much. So that words of appreciation, which is true, is actually a major reinforcer. And humans, we actually spend very little time talking to each other like that. We spend more time focusing on what we do wrong all the time. And so what happens is like you're marking what you don't want. You're constantly giving energy to what you don't want. So then you get more of that. So we want to mark what we want. And so the reinforcer that we're going to do is going to allow us to do that. So let's see what reinforcers we have. So we have the reinforcer equals actual reward. That's what that means. So we have tugs, like toys, things like that. We have sniffing. Now, cats are ninjas, so they look. Their look is actually the most rewarding thing. So when you use a little cat toy, they love the movement. That's what they're excited about. Dogs are not like that. Dogs gotta sniff things. Dogs love sniffing. So if I'm walking down the road and my dog looks at me and I say, yes, buddy, go sniff. I just taught my dog that looking at me has the highest value because it got a sniff as a reward. Sniffing is so valuable, especially for you, Bruce. Misty loves sniffing. Man, I became her best friend by giving her sniff breaks. That was it. That was like every time she looked at me, I gave her a sniff break, she thought I was the best thing in the world. So that's sniffing. Then you have a behavior. Now, a behavior like if you have a working dog, and your dog loves to work, like you, John, or like Johnny, you too, like you will be doing something like shake a paw, like a bow, a trick, spin around, do anything that involves working would be a behavior. Then you have an auditory reward. Now, if you have created empathy in your animal, which takes a little bit of work, animal will see that auditory is a huge reward. Like Senshin, my dog, he barely eats. Like food is not his thing. Toys, he's so lazy. He doesn't want toys. But if you tell him, wow, you are a good boy, you just made his day. Like he loves auditory. So pardon me, guys. Well, there you go. And so that's really important. The next is food. So treats, things like that creates a tremendous amount of value. Now for the food, remember that predators don't do well giving them free food. Now cats are a little different. Their system, they have to eat a lot. And so I don't mind leaving cats food out because they're okay with that. I prefer giving them feeding times, but feeding them often. Like my cat eats 3 to 4 times a day, but I don't free feed. But dogs, free feeding is like a killer, because what happens is that you are disrespecting the most innate part of who they are, which is a predator. So by you working with their food, you're making them value themselves, and actually be balanced mentally. So don't just feed your dog. Make your dog work for their food. Even if you have 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of games is a lifetime. It's amazing for the dog. It makes sense. And the last one is freedom. A lot of people, as like I was telling before in one of our Zoom calls, like in New York, the dogs are super happy and they're on leash. And they're so happy because freedom, a lot of time people think freedom is just letting your dog do whatever you want. But actually, freedom is a reward. So I can go on a hike and have my dog behind me the entire hike. And my dog is so happy and relaxed just following me. But that takes practice and experience. So I'm not going to have my dog free like that all the time. I'm going to build it up. Like when my dog is tired a little bit, then I'll try it. And then things like that, and do a lot of recall. So freedom is also a reward. So that's important to know. Give me 1 second, guys, because I just got a notice saying that my iPad is low on battery. I'm just gonna plug it in. 1 second. Just 1 minute. Pardon me, guys. Plugged in. Third one. Yeah. The power of problem solving, you guys. So somebody grab all the cables and move them around, and I have to figure out really quickly. There's processing ability right there. Okay. So we're continuing. So does everybody have any question about reinforcements? Actually, reinforcer, the reward. Can anybody think anything else that can be a reward other than those things?
Valley, could you actually repeat the different reinforcements?
Okay, for sure. So it would be tugs, like toys. Okay, any kind of toy. Sniffing. Behaviors like doing a trick. Okay, like, you know, my cats have kissing on command. So that's really cool. You put a little bit of cat food and then you say kisses and they lick it. And then you keep doing that and then they learn it. And you can say kisses to anything and they lick it. It's the cutest thing. Yeah. And then auditory, like words and praise and things like that. Then you have food like treats and bones and things like that. And you have freedom, which is actually like being free. So a good example of freedom is like, for example, when I'm working with a pup, a really young pup, and I want to teach them to be examined by a vet. Okay, I hold them up and I keep holding them, and until they're not calm, I don't put them down and give them freedom. So the pup learns really early on, struggling, it has no value. But being calm and like relax and let myself hang in the hands of others actually gives me the freedom I want. So that's a really good example of how freedom can be used as a reward for a particular choice after I mark the choice. So the choice is like, you're going to make a choice of being calm. I'm going to say yes, then I'm going to put you down. I'm going to let you go. Right? So that's the example. There's one more that I didn't add there. One that's really important that I was going to hope that you guys would figure it out. So I'll give you a clue. What do birds do? They what? Guys, I can't hear you.
Fly and sing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say sing.
What do fish do?
Swim.
What do dogs do?
Run.
Yeah, so movement. The most important reward. Movement. Same with cats, because they're predatory, right? Movement is a huge reward. So the second your cat does something you want, you run away from them, they think it's a blast. Same thing for dogs, right? It's like, it's amazing. It's like, whoa, yay, I got it. So that gives me one more thing to think about reinforcement. And that is, okay, when after I made very clear idea of my choice, okay, and then I added a marker to something similar to that choice, any approximation, and then I do a reward. When you pair a reward with delivery being how you actually give that reward, okay, you can either do it slowly and calmly, or you can do it throwing fast and predatory. Okay, and whenever I add those together, then what happens is I create an experience. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The most important profession to be in the world, like the only thing that matters is sales. Because sales get you everywhere. Every single day, you have to sell yourself onto the idea of becoming better, getting better at anything, getting out of bed. You actually have to sell yourself on that idea. Then the next thing, I apologize, we have a class, guys. So you're gonna hear a little bit of barking because they're working on some of the insecurities. And also you have to sell your dog on the idea that you have value, and you have to sell other people on the ideas. Hold on. Hey, Amanda. So sorry. Any chance you guys can do that outside? Thank you so much. I apologize. This is the power of teamwork, guys, and communication. So selling is really important again, because selling it just means sharing, communicating, and actually showing somebody what has given you value, and sharing with them what that value has been. So it's communication at its best. So when we are doing the delivery, when we're doing, and we just tell somebody something, they may take it, they may believe it, they may not. But when you create an experience, when you show them something, that is something that stays with them forever. Like, for example, you guys have your greatest memories that you ever had, the best moments of your life. Was it when you were at school? No. But say when you were working. No. It's unless you're doing something that you're extremely passionate about. Your greatest memories is when you were with your friends having fun or doing something that had a high amount of value for others. Like, for example, for me, some of my greatest memories is actually working with people that help me deal with my issues. Like Megan here, she's helped me so much walk through my life so I can have relationships that are very stable. That is actually so amazing. And I can remember those all the time. And that was an experience. That was something that created an entire experience. And that's what I'm trying to do with your dogs. When you work with your dogs, you're not trying to give them just a treat. You're trying to create an experience that's going to help. Right? So, and same thing for you, John. I was watching your video. So John has a working dog, everybody. Let's introduce each other. And some of you have met John's dog because we've been working with him. A lot of people have volunteered to work with him. But that's Buck, the big Swiss Shepherd. No, what? Swiss Mountain Dog. Yes. And he has some resource guarding challenges. And so we work really diligently with that, but he really thrives on creating an experience of calmness all the time. Whenever he gets really intense, I stop, slow down my breath, relax, literally bring everything down, and he just picks it up like a sponge. And then I start massaging him and telling him how good he is, and then he smiles. You know what I mean? And it's so good to see him be able to go like that, go that calm. And that is the reward. That is the experience, right? So I'm creating that experience. Now, so we want to do that. We want to understand how reinforcement works. We want to understand how strategies work, because this goes beyond working with dogs. This is actually something you can apply in daily life. And the only reason why it's clear to me, for example, is because I spend a lot of time integrating this knowledge through different tools like TechnoTutor and things like that, right? Now, the last thing I wanna tell you is that one of the major challenges that we have when we're reinforcing a particular animal, including people, is that when we create an experience, we forget about placement. So placement is where the reinforcer, which is the reward, is gonna go. So or where it ends. So for example, if one of the things that's really important for me is to build trust in my dog, where is the position where the most trust would be? Next to me, right? But if I'm always giving the rewards away from me, what am I teaching my dog? To go away from me. So that's the only thing that I added, that because through the years working with some people and their dogs, I have noticed that people sometimes reinforce really far away. So the rewards are constantly being leaving. So what happens is the dog ends up doing ball time, but the dog never comes to you. It stays like really far away waiting for the ball. You understand? So what you want to do is you want to bring the dog all the way to you. That's called the yo-yo effect. I can never say that word right, guys. Yo-yo. Yeah, okay. So what happens is if I'm gonna throw a treat with excitement because my dog needs to get some predatory energy out, like, and your dog being Jack Russell, she needs out. Like, she needs to run to get a treat, right? But if I just toss a treat and that's where I end the game, that's the only thing she's gonna do, get away from me. So what I have to do is after she went that way, I have to go a second reward coming back to me. So the end point, the placement end point is me. So it's okay to send my dog away, but it's more important to get my dog coming back, right? So that's important. So for you guys, So the reason why I was sharing with you guys about Buck and John and then working on the resource guarding is because they've been sending me some videos about how they're feeding their dog. And before, if you try to walk near their dog or even move, it was like rah, like full on. And Buck is a really big dog, so it looks really intimidating when he does that. But one of the things I was thinking about watching your videos is the first of all, your choice. The choice is what you want. What do you want? I want my dog to eat and think of eating as the most relaxing, calming experience that ever was. And I want to approach my dog and add delicious things, and my dog to go, whoa, I love your hand. And to go, whoa, I love when you walk near my bowl. Oh, here's my bowl, take it. Or walk away from the bowl so you can take it. Okay. But what I'm watching on the videos and the biggest feedback is that you're not relaxed yourself. You are kind of trying to get things done. That is not the energy you're looking for. You want to be like totally mellow. Seriously, put something on your phone. Watch Megan. She makes great videos. She's thoroughly entertaining. I love it. And I learn a lot at the same time. So this is really cool. So you have to create that in yourself first. This group that we have is called Evolving the Human-Dog Relationship. Okay, it doesn't mean change your dog. It means change both of you. Because that's the only way our dogs mimic us. There is not any other animal in the planet that has walked the path of life with a human other than a dog. Not even horses. Okay? Horses and cats are next in line. But dogs have been evolving with us for so long. Our bond is so deep. And they even pick up ego. They have egos. Like, what? That's crazy. They evolved egos. That ego is like the worst thing. We want to actually challenge our ego every day by looking at what we do and acknowledging and forgiving it and using tools to do that. If you want to know about those tools, we have them on the Facebook page. So I can send them to you, send a message. But that's the purpose of this call. The purpose of this call is to help you understand, yes, the dog psychology, but that human psychology at the same time, and to tell you that the way to actually enjoy life the most is by actually taking responsibility for it. And what that means, what does it mean to take responsibility for life? It means that if you're going to have a pet, can your pet give as you would like to receive? I look at a dog and I go, wow, he's so cute. I love to pet it and I feel good when I pet it. But if your dog bites people, that's not necessarily best. So we can actually change that behavior and take responsibility for that behavior and create dogs that are going to give to others. And like, for example, Johnny, you have Blue, and Blue is an amazing dog. Looks just like one of the dogs I had before. But Blue is huge. And he had a lot of excitability and he'll jump all over and he's so big and he'll toss you around. You go flying. And now, like, thanks to all the work that you've done, wow, he's such a pleasure to be around. He's grown so much. And that's because you took responsibility for his education, right? I mean, it's easy to say, oh, he's just friendly and you just let him do whatever, right? But no, he's huge. Like, we have to take responsibility. Somebody could get scared. Right? So yeah, there, like, look, there's Blue. Huge, massive Blue. Okay, you guys, Blue is on the video that I sent you because Blue was sharing food with Buck on the treadmill. That's Blue. See, you guys are famous. There you go. So what I want to leave you with today is the first point of change is recognizing that something has to change. It means that you have to look at something and say, this is not what I want. What is it that I want? Make it specific. Okay. And then once you make your choice of what you're looking for, reward any approximation to that choice. Now, the reason why it's so important to reward the approximations is because we are not designed to change rapidly. Unless you actually have TechnoTutor and you're programming yourself with that every day, like actually changing your subconscious mind, we're not designed for change. So you're going to have resistance. But if you give yourself successive approximations towards your goal, just slowly, a little bit at a time, you will actually get better and better progressively. Okay, so your dog the same way. So Toppy, the dog that was now is barking because scared of the cat, I am not gonna bring her right inside just at the second I get to that house. I'm gonna take my time, and if she looks away for a second, I'm gonna toss her a treat. I'm gonna make it really fun for her and spend a lot of energy outside the house. So when I come inside, she's gonna have an easier time. Now, the reason why this is an important conversation for us to have is because Toppy is spending Christmas Eve with the cat at their Christmas house, like with the family, right? So they want, their dream is to have a harmonious Christmas. So I'm like, no problem, get it done, take your time, commit yourself, take responsibility, right? And set up yourself for success. Like Toppy's gonna have a crate as well, and the kitty is gonna have a little, on the top of the crate, there's going to be a pad, and the kitty is going to have like an amazing feast that she's only allowed to have on top of the crate. So Toppy is like subservient to the cat because the cat is actually afraid, right? So we have to boost the confidence of the cat and then give her an amazing meal like salmon and you name it, right? So the cat wants to eat it. So yeah, so we're totally bribing the cat. It works really well. Cats have to be bribed. Dogs, you can make any face and the dog will love it. The cat is like, maybe. I love cats. My cat is awesome. Okay. Megan, I have to get more cats. So now I only have one cat. So I'm waiting for you. Yeah. Megan breeds Bengals, you guys. And they're amazing, epic cats. Amazing.
I already told David we have a deal coming up.
Oh, really? So exciting. David is my partner, in case anybody asks. Okay, this is really exciting. Okay, so we have to choose to change ourselves and change the dog. Make sure that we are congruent with what we want. If I want my dog to be confident, and every time my dog is scared, I go, why are you scared? Come on, be confident. Like, that's not gonna work out because I'm focusing on the fear. But instead, if my dog is scared and I ignore her and wait for a moment of bravery and then I mark it and then I reinforce it, then that's going to create confidence. You understand? I'm not focusing on the fear. I'm focusing on what I want. And then that goes for me too. If my dog has a lot of fear, guess what do I have? Fear. Okay, your dog is your mirror image. 100% your mirror image. So your dog is reflecting you. So, I mean, it is very difficult, and I understand how resistant one can be to change because, like, the first dog I ever had that I actually fully trained, was a dog named Avalanche because he was unpredictable and unstable, and he would want to kill people, literally. And he was an Akbash, really, really large dog. And whenever he would get aggressive, guess what I would do? Be aggressive back. Now, the problem with Akbashes and the reason why they were banned in many places of Europe is because they don't have fear. So when you deal with aggression, guess what happens? You get bit. So Avalanche was the greatest thing that happened to me because he was my mirror image. He reflected me all the aggression that I had due to my childhood. Because when I was raised up with a little bit of aggression, so given to me. So I learned that in order to get my way, I have to be aggressive. That's how you get things. You understand? So then Avalanche was showing that back to me. And it got to the point where we're so in tune with one another that if I started to feel aggression inside for any reason, he will give me the eye. Just do it. I'll bite you. And then I will be like, breathe. And every time Avalanche taught me to breathe. That's what he taught me. He's like, stop it and breathe. And you know what happened after that? Is when we both became in tune and there was no more outbursts of aggression in him and in me, he became Avatar. I changed his name. Okay, so that and I just to show, you know how hard it was for me to admit that I had that aggression? It felt like I was useless and like not valuable because I had that within me. But the reality of the matter is, if I don't look at it, how can I change it? Now it's so easy for me. I don't have that anymore as much as I had before. Now, does it come up every once in a while? Yes, it does come up. So that's why I have tools like Technotutor, self-forgiveness. I actually have to change those things, right? But your dog is your mirror image. What is your dog telling you about you? What emotions come up when you're with your dog? That's what's the magic of having a dog, and that's what it means to evolve the human-dog relationship. We're helping each other evolve, go to the next level. All right, so that's it for today. Does anybody have any questions about your particular case? Something that happened, anything else? Bruce, I read your text that you were able to do playtime with Misty with a long line, and she's coming to you happy. We're getting...
There we go. Yeah, she is. We're outside. I had a 30-foot, we've got a 30-foot lead. And of course, with the snow and all that, she's really excited about that. So I let her get out and burn some off. And then I just started doing a touch and call her name. And this was all Beth's suggestion, by the way. But I just call her name and give it a second and then say, come. And she'd charge at me.
See, now let me tell you why this is so significant. Because Misty didn't grow up, she didn't develop her problem-solving abilities when she was a pup. So she actually is against learning. Yeah. That's basically how I would put it. And then Bruce and Bev have worked so diligently to bring that natural learning ability again. And they're working so hard. And it's really rare when you get Misty to do something like spectacularly excited. Most of the time she's like, or she lays down and turns into pancake. And so that's awesome. That's a huge breakthrough. Good job, Bruce. Good job, Bev. Keep it up. That's really good.
So
awesome.
I can see the sniff thing really working too, because that's all she wants to do on a walk.
Yeah.
So I've got to start really treating that as a big resource.
That's awesome. Yeah, use that all the time. I never let a dog get away with sniffing. Just like pull me over. Never. I'm like, no, stop. Breathe. Focus on me. Wow. Go sniff. Any other question, guys?
I'm just very grateful that I hopped on tonight. One, because this is really amazing. And two, today I kind of had like a breaking point with like frustration and impatience with the cats, because Bengals are I'm finding they're very similar to dogs.
Very much so. I never met a cat more like a dog.
Right. And there's this one shelf that I have in the living room, and I put like a bunch of decorations on it and stuff, but I thought that I put enough that Chester wouldn't want to jump onto the shelf, but that doesn't stop him. And everything that you were saying as a reward, I would be doing as he would jump on the shelf. So it's like I'm reinforcing him jumping on the shelf instead of redirecting him. Mm-hmm. So as you were just explaining all this, I was like, oh, he loves this. It's a game now. So now we need to change it. So I'm going to start elaborating this tomorrow and just really start practicing that.
100%. So for me, like I had a Christmas tree and like in the corner, and then my cat, I will open my door, and every time I arrive home, my cat will look at me and then go, look at me, and then run up on the tree, destroyed everything, and then go, ta-ta! And I go, oh my gosh. And I thought it was so funny. So I taught my cat that. My cat thought it was the greatest thing, all the attention. It's like incredible. My tree had nothing on it, like dead by the time we were done. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't put up a tree for that reason.
You know, I use live trees. So that's really good
Mhm.
because you can plant it right after. So I love that. I love like building the lives. So it's really cool. And you had a question?
Well, I thought things were improving with the growling and snapping. It was calmed down for a while, and then you think, oh, bingo, it's sorted out. And all of a sudden everyone's sitting quietly, the old one's asleep. I'm nearly asleep in the chair, and she'll wake up and just growl and snarl for no reason at all.
Yeah, so that is a very specific point that has nothing to do with behavior and more to do with physiology.
Oh.
So when a dog is out of like absolute calmness and without a trigger, they just snap, it means there's something wrong with their physical bodies. Okay.
Well, I wondered if she's had 3 surgeries in a couple of years and whether she gets a sudden tummy pain or something.
Yeah, so that definitely is due to physiology.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest you do is I would suggest you sometimes I film it because it's really funny. I had a Watson, a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, and he was a rescue dog. And I thought we were doing so well. And then I was looking at these videos of him, and I saw a tremendous amount of pain in his eyes. I'm like, what's wrong with this? And I kept looking at the photos, I kept looking at the videos, and I saw this pain. And I was so confused. And I took him to the vet. He had the worst case of back disorder that they seen. And the amount of pain he was in, it was like miracle that he wasn't a crazy, horrible dog. Yeah. And as the time progressed, he actually started biting a lot, like quite aggressive. And the medication side effects is aggression.
Yes.
So I had to make a choice. And unfortunately, I had to let him rest just because I didn't want to see him suffer that much. And there wasn't a surgery that I could do that could help. But so one of the things I would suggest is, number one, film it. Like you can have a little camera or like, I don't know. It's kind of hard because sometimes you don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, this is it.
It's just random. But you can start by making a record of when it happens. Oh, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Thursday, 6:45. And then there may be a pattern. And then you can then set up the camera to film that pattern. Or you can also try different things. Sometimes dogs can have like animals, like bacteria that will create that, or worms. I really doubt that you do, but that's something that you can look at. It's really hard. Like I'm not a vet, so I'm not sure how to assist you within this, but I can tell you it's definitely physiological.
Yeah. Well, I thought it may be sort of adhesions, following the surgeries.
Mm-hmm. Also,
and the other thing is too sort of attacking the vacuum, but she learned that from the old one.
Oh, I can definitely help you with that. That will be fun, and we can film it so everybody can learn. That'll be so fun. I can come over to your house and we can do that.
Okay,
that would be so fun. I love teaching vacuum cleaners. Yeah.
Well, the old one has ended up is not well and has got a tooth abscess, so I have to deal with that. But anyway, in the new year, that might be a good idea. And you might be able to see some of the other behaviors. Like
and we can.
I actually have her tied to the couch so that she doesn't lunge and get at people and follow aggressively.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
She can jump off, but that's about as far
you have
as
to
goes.
put the stairs. You have the stairs because with all dogs, no jumping.
Yeah.
just stairs. I have extra stairs if you need. I'm not using them. My old cat is no longer here, so I don't need them anymore.
I do have a pair of stairs.
Yeah,
But,
try to use those.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks,
right.
darling.
No problem. So as usual, oh look, there's a kitty. Yay! Which one is this one, Megan?
This is my female Cleo.
Hi, Cleo. Wow, look at Cleo, you guys. It's amazing.
We have some work we need to do with her.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I can help you. Send questions, call me, text me anytime.
Will do.
So we are
Oh, who's
look,
that?
there's a little one.
Yeah, so this is Bruce, and we got
that's
Bella
Bruce.
here too.
That's the
Oh my
troublemaker.
God, they're so
So
cute.
Bella,
Oh,
the next time you come in, we're gonna have to work on these guys because we got a solid. We're on a journey with Buck. We know what that journey looks
Need some
like,
integration.
but this is bad to the bone, Bruce here. So he's
it's so funny, you guys. You have the largest dog and the tiniest.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so quick thing. Next week there won't be a Zoom call due to holidays and things like that. But we're gonna start back the new year. Yeah, I'll show you the video for sure. And the next thing is we are always taking questions. So this was because Tess, who couldn't be here on the call though, she asked for it, needed this feedback. So, and these are recorded. They go on the Facebook group, so you can always watch them after. But if you guys, we're here to give value to others. So if you have people that could benefit from this group and this call, invite them over. Sometimes we have a lot of people and sometimes we have a small group like today, but I think, and then we have lots of different guests and things that are coming as well. So share this, spread the word, and let us know what you think, what you like, and we'll go from there.
Ellie, this is
Ellie.
amazing.
Yeah, I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Megan.
it.
I'm so happy to see you here. That's so
I
awesome.
was so happy I was here tonight. You gave me so much insight. I have so many things to talk to you about.
Yeah, anytime. I'm here for you, anytime.
Thanks, Valley.
Okay, guys, have a good night.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.